morning, students. How are you? See, dear students, we are all running a very tough time because of the pandemic COVID-19. Regarding this, I would like to tell you one thing. As per the government orders, as per the government instructions, you must wear a mask, particularly when you are in a crowd. Maintain social distancing. Avoid going unnecessarily. Don't go out unnecessarily. Whenever you are in a shop or you are in a mall, you must be very careful. And above all, you need not to worry about it, because generally, people have got fear among them. See, even nowadays, because of the climatic changes, generally, you may get fever, cold, and body pain. But if you have all the signs, all of a sudden you should not come to conclusion that you have become victim of corona. My suggestion to you is that, first of all, don't be panic. Be optimistic. Take hot water, that is the lukewarm water, and suppose if you have cough or fever, take milk with half a spoon of turmeric, boil it and take that milk, because turmeric is that is an effective antibiotic that may cure all types of cold related ailments. So don't be panic. You need not to worry about it, but you have to follow the instructions given by the government. Okay, students, now let us begin our class with today's word of a day. Word of a day. Today's word is optimistic. Optimistic. And a part of his speech is adjective. It is an adjective. The meaning is expecting the best in all possible way. In all possible way. Optimistic means it is an adjective. The meaning is expecting the best in all possible way. And the antonym of this word is pessimistic. Pessimistic. See, the meaning of optimistic if you want to remember in a simple way, a person, one who has positive thinking. A person, one who has positive thinking. Pessimistic is a person, one who always thinking negatively. You always be an optimistic. You always be an optimistic. See, if you be an optimistic, it is very, very easy for you to attain success. See, for example, generally it is said like that. Optimist is a person, one who eats dosa. Pessimist is a person, one who counts the whole into a dosa. Who is a best man? Optimist. See, if you are hungry, what you have to do? You have to eat dosa. You need not to worry about it, how many holes the dosa has got. So optimist is a person, one who eats dosa. Pessimist is a person, one who counts hole on a dosa. So eat dosa, do not count holes. So be an optimistic. Be an optimistic. Okay. Take down this. And the noun form is optimism. This is an adjective and the noun form is optimism. Okay? Yes. See, in our previous class, we discussed noun and its types. What is noun? Naming words. And the second point is all living and non-living things are noun. Now just recall nouns. Common noun, proper noun. Common noun is a noun which refers person, place, things commonly. It is a common noun. Proper noun is a noun which refers person, place, things particularly. For example, student is a common noun. Ravi first BCom is a proper noun. Bike is a common noun. Enfield bullet is a proper noun. Right? Then the next another two types. Concrete noun, abstract noun. If a noun has shape and form that you can see, you can touch, you can smell or you can taste is called as concrete noun. For example, pen. For example, pen. For example, bike. For example, apple, computer, table, chair. These are all the concrete noun because it has got some shape and form. What about abstract noun? Abstract noun, you cannot see, you cannot touch, you cannot smell, you cannot taste, but you can feel. But you can feel. But you can realize. That type of nouns are called as concrete noun. For example, smart, happy, joyful, loyalty, independence, celebration, air, freedom, noble, right? All type of qualities, that comes under the noun abstract noun. Okay, which has no shape and form. Okay, that two finish. And the last two, that is compound noun. Compound noun means compound noun is a noun which combines two nouns and gives a single meaning. For example, playground. Play is one noun, ground is one noun, but it refers to a single thing, single place. Cell phone. Cell is one noun, phone is one noun, but it refers to a single thing. Right? So, highway, blackboard, chalk piece, bookshop. These nouns are called as compound nouns. And the last type is collective noun. See, last class I told you this is a very important and very interesting type of noun, collective noun. For example, bunch of keys. Bunch is a collective noun. Bunch of flowers. Bunch is a collective noun. Bunch of files. Bunch is a collective noun. Bunch. Herd. Herd of elephants. Flock F-L-O-C-K, flock. Flock of sheep. Flock of sheep. Likewise, family, crowd, group, committee, navy, army, police. Likewise, you can keep on adding all, that is many words in a collective noun. Collective noun is a noun which labels, which gives separate name for a group of noun. See, for your information, I would like to tell you one thing. Each and every animal family and each and every bird family has got a collective noun. See, for example, a group of parrots are called as pandemonium of parrots. Pandemonium of parrots. Pandemonium of parrots. So, pandemonium is a collective noun for parrots. School of fishes, or we call it aquarium. School of fishes. It is a collective noun for fishes. Flock of sheep. Flock of sheep. Flock is a collective noun for to refer any animal which is in group. Flock of sheep. Military of tigers. Military of tigers. And there are certain words are very strange, very unique. See, for example, murder. Murder, you know, it is referred to a group of crows. Group of crows. The collective noun is murder. Very unique, no? So, likewise, each and every animal family and each and every bird family has got a collective noun. You can refer in a net, you can collect. It would be really interesting. Okay? Yes. This is one thing related to collective noun, and the another one thing is, as I already told you in my previous class, collective noun is somewhat special. Why? What is in it? What is in it? See, collective nouns are always treated as a singular and it takes singular noun. I am telling you, I am not telling you anything new, but remember one thing. See, usually the golden rule of English grammar is, for example, if a subject is singular, verb is also singular. Right? That's you already familiar with it. Again, I would like to tell you, see, for example, he is watching. He is watching. And another sentence is, they are playing. They are playing. He is watching. They are playing. See, look at the subject and verb. Here the subject is singular, the verb is also singular. He is. We never say he are. Here subject is plural and the verb is also plural. We never say they is. This is the golden rule. But as far as the collective noun is concerned, this rule, you know, it's get changed here. For example, see, if a subject is singular, the verb is singular. If a subject is plural, verb is plural. This is the golden rule. But here it got it gets some changes. For example, when you write collective noun, it must be treated as a singular. For example, you know, your family is waiting for you. Your family is waiting for you. Family is. Though it is a collective noun, because family has got many members, no? So we must not put R here. Since family is a collective noun, so it takes singular verb is. Takes singular verb is. So likewise, the crowd is eagerly watching the shooting. Crowd, so many people are there, but since it is a collective noun, it takes singular. It takes singular. So the committee is formed. The committee is formed. The police is waiting for a politician. Not to arrest, to welcome. The army is deployed. Got it? So, in a collective noun only, you must be very, very careful. It always treat as a singular. Since it is singular, it takes a singular verb. Right? Okay. Remember this one. If you want, you take down these examples. So, my family is waiting for you. The crowd is eagerly watching the shooting. Crowd is, family is, committee is, police is. Okay? Yeah. And the next thing is, now further, noun can be classified into another two types. One is countable, another one is uncountable. Countable and uncountable. Countable, uncountable. You need not to memorize a separate definition for it because the type itself has got answer with it. Countable, uncountable. A noun which you can count is countable. See, for example, pen. You can count 2 pens, 3 pens, 4 pens, 10 pens. Pen is a countable. Pen is a countable noun. Cup. How many cups are there? 5 cups are there. Okay. So whatever the count you take, whatever the noun you take, if it is possible, if you can count it, it is called as countable noun. So that you can keep on add example. And for example, uncountable noun. Uncountable noun. Milk. Coffee. Happiness, happy. So like this you can write. Can you count this? Stars. Papers. Can you count? You cannot count it. You can weigh it. You can weigh it. You can call that is 2 liters of milk. Volume, you may say. You cannot say that is 2 milk, 4 milk, 10 milk like this. Coffee, 50 gram, 100 milligram. Likewise, you can volume. You can volume it. You can weigh it, but you cannot count it. So, a noun which is countable is called as countable noun. A noun which cannot be counted is called as an uncountable noun. Okay? Yes. Take down this. And next is, there are some nouns in English are always singular, right? Usually, for example, if a noun pen, what is the plural of pen? Pens. Chair, chairs. Singular noun, plural noun. See, for example, pen. If you have pen here, the plural will be pens. Book. And automatically it is books. It's a very preliminary thing. It's a very preliminary thing. There are some nouns in English which is always singular. Which are always singular. What are they? What are they? Information. Advice. Knowledge. Luggage. Furniture. All those nouns are always treated as a singular. It has no plural form. You never say furnitures. No, furniture always treated as a singular. If it is one chair, it is furniture. If you have 100 chairs and 100 tables, then also it is furniture, not furnitures. So likewise, information, not informations. So likewise, data. Advice. Here I would like to tell you, see ADVICE. And another one one is there. It is ADVISE. What is the difference between advice and disadvice? Right? While you pronounce, both give same sound. Okay. But the only difference is CE and SE. What does it mean? This advice is noun. This is verb. See, for example, I don't need your advice. I don't need your advice. At that time, which advice comes? C or SC? C. I don't need your advice. Okay, this is a noun. My father advised me. My father advised me. Which advice comes? SE. Verb. So these type of words are called as what? Homophones. You might have studied in your +2. Homophones. Homo means same. Phone means sound. Sound is same, but merely the presence of one letter alters the meaning of a word. Advice, advice. Okay, come to the point. Some nouns are always singular. There is no plural for it. And some nouns are always plural. For example, news, pants, scissors, trousers. These nouns are always plural, which has no singular form. There is no singular form. News. What do you mean by news? Yes. What NEWS? What we call these type of words in English? News. North, east, west, south. That is the full form of news is north, east, west, south. These type of words are called as acronym. Then I can understand what you are asking. Sir, if it is acronym, what is this? But you read it out as a single word, news. But you cannot read it out as a whip. No. VIP. VIP. Very important person. Very important person. So if it is separated with dot, these type of words are called as abbreviations. See, though these things seems very simple to you, but these type of questions are asked in competitive examinations. For example, like TNPSC, SET, that is not SET, TNPSC, TET. In a general competitive examination, these questions are asked. Don't neglect it. So, some nouns are always treated as a singular, some nouns are always treated as a plural. And another one thing I would like to tell you, because generally, our boys think that by adding yes, you can get plural. By adding yes, you can get plural, but it is not alright in all the cases. But in some, that is sentences, by adding yes. For some, that is nouns, box, you have to add es. You have to add es. And for example, see, that is, that is factory. What is the plural? Factories. You have to add here IES, here ES, right? But in ordinary word, that is by merely adding yes, you can get pens. You can get plural. But in certain words, you have to add ES. In certain word, what you have to do, you have to remove the Y and you have to add IES. Country. Countries. But key. Keys. Monkey. Monkeys. Here, now you ask me, sir, why here you are adding IES, but you are here merely you are adding S. Do you know why? See, look at here. Why? What preceded by Y? R. R is a consonant. R is a consonant. So we are adding IES. So here also, why it is preceded with R. R is a consonant. So we are adding IES. So here, Y is preceded with vowel E. If it is preceded by vowel, you have to add only S. Here also, monkey. Why? That is, it is preceded with vowel E, so you are adding merely S. So likewise, you must be very, very careful. For example, what is the plural of that is child? Children. Sometimes what our boys do, they add yes here, because see, children itself is a plural. You should not put yes. Child singular, children is plural. Foot, F-O-O-T, foot. Foot. What is the plural? Feet. Likewise, tooth. What is the plural? Teeth. For child, the plural is children. So, dear student, still there are some nouns are there, and we elaborately discussed in our next session. Okay, thank you so much.